Here we go. Ah, like a lullaby to a child. The old Lawdog sports syndrome. And we're getting the band back together, at least for a day. As
Back before Texas.
Back before Texas. Like I told you, not according to Greg McElroy. Greg McElroy proclaiming them back. So
Greg McElroy's only studied those rosters for a season now.
That's true. He's going to get brushed up on SEC. It's good to see you, Jeremy. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great. It's great to be back. How have you been?
Man, I tell you, I've been busy. This radio work is a lot busier than police work, and
they want you
that. You saw what I used to do at the airport.
I know. Walk around, drink coffee.
Walk around, talk sports with you.
Yeah, looks like you're having a better time now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is.
Seems like you're busy. I always see you on the Facebooks. Somewhere calling a basketball game with 6 total points scored or 7.
Oh yeah, that was a trip, dude. And it was trippy when the station manager says we're getting requests from ESPN and Sports Illustrated for our video. I was like, well, at least they have the decency to request it. But yeah, that was bizarro. That's the thing about this world, Jeremy, with social media and the cycle and things is you just don't know. You don't know when you're going to get caught up in the middle of it.
Yeah, that was weird. I was just kind of watching ESPN and I saw it. I was like, that guy sounds familiar. It's like, oh, what the heck?
4-2. And it was what's amazing is our sophomore point forward, CJ Nixon was 2 points away from 1,000.
Wow.
And I think he got some free throws and then he hit a bucket. And
so he went over.
And me being the smart aleck that I am, when he hit the bucket, the actual field goal in the third quarter, I said, we're going to be pretty amazed if that ends up being the game winner. And it was.
And what part of the game was that in? What quarter was that in?
Quarter,
high school. Third quarter.
The only scoring in the fourth was Anadarko got a bucket late.
That is just incredible.
The funny thing about this because I don't think we've been live since we've communicated, but we haven't been live since back in football season.
Yes.
Do the Saturday night thing. And I've gotten some good feedback on that as well from some folks.
Really?
Tuning. Yeah. Marty Wandry in Clinton liquor store there. He was saying, man, ready for you guys to get back on it. He's a good dude. And then some other folks, and I'm going to do this one separate here on the Lawdog Sports because we may say some things that the Right Media Systems Network might not want. But it's good to be back here with you for a short while, and we'll see what we can do from time to time. Get it going back again, at least maybe Friday afternoon. So it's we should both be kind of available like we were back in the day.
That would be fantastic. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, let's see. The display case is. Did you order a Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl ring?
Oh no. They're not going to give me one either, which I don't think is right.
Man, see, I would have thought Bieniemy would have had you up there on the list somewhere.
He's a Buffalo, so
yeah, he's going to reclamation project on Josh Allen. So. And I do want to get into some NFL stuff with you before we get done here today, because we will talk some draft probably and stuff. But obviously, you're watching the Masters, and they are, I guess, feeling like middle central Oklahoma right now with some storms and trees falling and things like that. It sure seemed to encapsulate when you said that. It sure seemed to encapsulate my time in Norman.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the tornadoes to start plowing through just north of me, and watching the Masters and seeing trees fall. It's bizarro world.
Are y'all in a storm watch there?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. And it's funny you say that because I thought, well, if trees are falling and storms, then bring out the beach ball sized hail, because that's what comes next. So.
Absolutely. It's like the beginning of Flash Gordon. Do you remember that?
What's funny is that guy who was that guy?
Sam J. Jones?
No, not that guy from Ted. Who played the Hawkman character?
Oh, from Ted. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, the British guy.
Flash Gordon, the British guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was on Dean, our friend Dean Lindsay up there at Stretch of Norman. Turned me on to Rowan Atkinson back in the day before Bean, and in a series in Britain called Black Adder.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and one was based on Shakespeare or medieval England, and then they did one World War One, just kind of a period piece sitcom. But that guy was on that show. It's like, hey, that's the dude with wings from Flash Gordon. So,
Or the Hawk people, yes.
Yeah, the Hawk people,
or the Hawkman.
So you're a Hawkman. So your favorite Tiger Woods is he was what 4 over yesterday, I believe. Victor Hovland was in the lead, and I think last I checked, it looks like Brooks Koepka is leading.
Koepka is 12 under.
12.
Well, he was.
He's 5 under today.
Yeah, John Rahm is in second place at 7 under. Tiger right now is sitting at 2 over. So he's kind of got the wheels back on a little bit. Yeah, that's the cut line. Cut line is right at 2 over.
Okay. Well, I know the executives at CBS and ESPN are hoping and praying that's the cut line. But oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, he's 46 years old. He's on one leg, and he's still the straw.
Yeah, he really
is crazy.
Yeah. What is the what's the talk? Are the announcers totally avoiding the Live Tour PGA stuff?
I haven't heard a lot of it. Apparently, the Live guys are supposed to wear their Live team gear, whatever that means. And I didn't see it on Koepka.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. That situation is so bizarre.
I gotta say, Mickelson looked full blown crazy, seedy old man with those shades. Yes.
So he got the hair slicked back and the shades.
Hair slicked back and the Wayfarers on.
Oh wow,
little boys of summer.
Yeah, it feels great, but
yeah.
50. What is he? 54, 55. And
yeah, he's my age. I'll be 53 in August. He's near my age, or maybe a little more. I don't know. It was crazy. Those were crazy looking glasses. Either way,
they haven't had him on the broadcast, which is weird because this is a multiple time major winner. I don't know if it's because of the Live deal.
It's the Live stuff, and he's been so freaking adamant and boisterous about it all. So I mean,
if you're going to offer me 9 figures, I'd probably go too.
Yeah, I mean, the money that helped bring down 2 towers in New York. It's okay. Go ahead and sign up for it, bro.
The money that's killing the dollar right now.
Well, they right too. Well, I got an 8% interest rate on my house.
That's right.
But no. So Masters, obviously, I noticed out here in Western Oklahoma where I am, their golf course in Weatherford is having a watch party Sunday. So. With some drinks and food and stuff like that.
You should go over there and cover it, see if they'll hook you up with some free stuff.
Old Jimmy Laughlin, he's tuned into the show before. Need to go hook him up. Say, hey, Lawdog Sports, bro. You'd be surprised how little that gets me in Western Oklahoma. No,
they might give you all the Bud Light you can drink though for free.
Hey, I gotta say, I had weaned myself off of Anheuser-Busch a long time ago. When I have to buy cheap beer, I'm a Miller Lite guy.
See, I've never did enjoy the Miller.
I can remember my dad drank Miller High Life.
Ooh, yeah.
Those bottles were cool because the wrapper kept that glass so tight, you could get 2 shots from a BB gun out. It didn't just ruin it straight out. But anyways, so I'm looking at the list that we're supposed to protest now.
So you need to try that. You need to get a hold of some of the Yinglings.
That's what I was about to see. Read my mind.
Fantastic.
Say, Jeremy, what are you going to do if Yingling shows up on the list?
I've already studied the list. I noticed that Pacifico's on that list, and
Pacifico that hurt, man.
I did not. I didn't react well to that. And Modelo, what are y'all doing to me? Everything I like, really.
I would have thought Corona would have been in there.
Corona is also on that list.
Okay. Yeah. So, but the Pacifico hurt, and then I think I noticed somebody had Shock Top and Land Shark were on there. So if you like the fruity beers,
well,
insert joke here.
I'm just going to leave that one. The low hanging fruit there.
Insert joke here.
No, thank you.
Gosh, so,
not going to bite. That's bait.
Yeah. So, and I didn't know anything about it till my wife said, "Yeah, have you heard about Kid Rock?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "He disbanded from his Anheuser-Busch gig, and
so did Travis Tritt."
That's what, maybe it was Tritt she told me about first, but then I don't know. But
Kid Rock had the machine gun out, blowing up boxes of Bud Light. All right, okay. Good job, Kid Rock. Okay. Good job, Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Oh man, that's funny. So
I just just talk about just totally not having the ability to read the room. Who buys that stuff? I'm old enough to remember when George Strait was the face of Bud Light.
Yeah,
and you are too.
Yeah,
so
way old enough.
Who are you marketing this towards?
Yeah,
people that don't drink beer. That's who.
I mean, I looked at it, and first thing I thought is, okay, corporate, bottom dollar. We don't want anybody griping, complaining about our product. But man, you talk about a backlash of your base. Good grief,
that's a shame.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I mean, if Lone Star ends up on there, I'm probably in trouble. But I've also
who distributes Lone Star?
Probably Anheuser-Busch. So look at me supporting them.
I didn't see them on the list. So hopefully they've got their own setup.
Yeah, I think Miller might have been distributing them in Texas.
Hopefully, well,
didn't Anheuser-Busch buy Miller?
No, Coors did.
Coors did. Okay.
Yes,
Coors.
They've got their own. They've got their own little deal on that too. So don't be surprised. Hopefully they're smart enough. Hopefully they're smart enough not to let it get out like this thing did.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's in this day and time. I mean, I work at a country station, and the talk on Monday was all about the CMT awards, and maybe it was Tuesday. I can't remember. But
so I don't watch award shows because I don't care, and I don't want to see stuff like that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So, but they just, I guess they kind of put some folks out on display on that deal. So. I mean, here's the thing, Jeremy. I lived for 16 years. I lived a mile and a half, maybe a mile away from the 39th and Penn area in Oklahoma City. I don't get flared up if dudes dressed like women want to drink a beer. Hey, go drink. I don't care.
Yeah,
it is funny though. Like you said, were they not reading the room?
No, the whole the competing in women's sports deal. As a father of a young girl, I do not care for that.
No, you're well within your right to also.
I think it's wrong. And hey, you see the transgender male identifying female. I don't know how to say all this without
a male trying to identify as female.
As female MMA fighter, just literally cracking skulls. It is not good.
Well, they said something about LeBron James. I think it was Chappelle had a bit in one of his stand-ups. It might have been what got him in trouble about LeBron James identifying as a woman and transferring to WNBA and scoring 800 points in a game.
Well, former President Trump, floated the idea of buying a WNBA team and, getting and doing this. And
I remember
mentioned LeBron.
Yeah. I remember a certain rotund sports talk guy that we talk about in Oklahoma City used to crack on the WNBA, and he would say, "It's a festival. It's a festival."
If you want to watch great takes about the WNBA, watch Bill Burr stand up.
Bill Burr. Yeah. He spares no prisoners. I love the Bill Burr video of him breaking down the John Lennon and Chuck Berry duo on the Mike Douglas show from back in the 70s. Look that up later.
I'm gonna have to.
Let's talk some sports.
Let's do that.
So the Masters going on. Brooks Koepka, John Rahm, and Victor Hovland was tied for the lead yesterday. Looks like he's at 1 over today, and he dropped back down to 6 under. So Brooks Koepka obviously having a great day. who were you looking at as I mean beyond Tiger, but who were you looking at as somebody you were hoping would maybe fare well in this tournament this year?
If you're not a Live fan, like obviously we're not Live fans, you really, really want Rory to make some noise. But it doesn't look like he's heck. I don't even see him in the top. I don't even see where he is on here.
Well, I tell you, go ahead.
Patrick Reed. No, I'm kidding.
See, I pictured you as a Colin Morikawa fan. So,
one of these guys that's been around, Spieth, I mean, he's right in the thick of it. Well, I say in the thick of it, he's 7 shots back, but John Rahm is 3 shots back. I'd like to see him.
That's where I was going to go with you on the John Rahm bandwagon. I can get behind him.
I can get behind Sam Bennett.
Sure.
The amateur, he's sitting at 8 under right now. He's
playing
very well.
I don't have an issue with Jason Day either.
I've got Johnny Mize and Freddie Couples out there using yellow balls. It's I don't know why it's oddly off-putting. It's like playing with my brother-in-law.
Cuñado. Answer me this on a more local level. Are you surprised that Ricky Fowler has just flamed out and doesn't do anything anymore? That seems to be one of those things that I know all OSU fans were banking on, but he really was.
And I know we talked about this a couple of years ago when we were doing the show regularly, and I kept saying, he's still young.
Yeah.
But, when you're that young, it's kind of, he's going through a swing change. It's kind of like, oh man, what was the guy's name? David Duval.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Duval. Duval got him a couple of majors, but completely lost his ability to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of seemed like, Ricky did that. I noticed he played in a few tournaments this year and looked pretty good, but I don't think he's good enough to compete at majors anymore. I just don't.
And, there for a while, he was just right there on the cusp. He would dominate those, those non-major tournaments, or
he's got the game.
He did.
I don't think he has the practice habits. I don't know.
There you go. Slacker.
That's why we're watching Tiger struggle, because he physically can't practice like he used to. I mean, he's out there on one leg.
Yeah, it's a lot to it for sure.
But you know what? If anyone can.
Tiger Woods will never win another major.
I can't stand. I entered the portal and joined the
ref army.
Joined the ref army.
Hey, good for you. So, you could listen to that in Clinton and Weatherford as well. That's
I work for. We're we've been around here forever, and we both have an affinity for Mike Steely, and that's what I was doing before I came in here, was listening to Steely and Thune at noon, and
he gigs on the Masters as well. So
So
let me ask you this, and let's change gears here and talk a little bit about some hoops action. Your Oklahoma City Thunder currently hold 10th place, and that would get them in a play-in game against the 7 seed.
It would be okay. I'm just gonna try to go unconscious and lay this out. So 9-10 play, loser is out. Okay, 7-8 play, loser of that game or winner of that game is in.
So it's not seeded.
Loser.
Okay,
right. It's 9-10 plays. The winner of that game plays the loser of the 7-8 game, and whoever wins that game is the 8. 7 is automatic. If 7 wins, they're the 7 seed.
Yeah,
and
those are one and done, right?
Not unless you're the 8, or the loser of the 8, the 7-8 game gets another game.
Sure. Okay.
But if the loser of the 9-10 game is done.
Yeah. Okay. So as it stands after what do you think about Russell Westbrook the other night? Just going gangbusters over LeBron and the Lakers.
He can still play.
No Paul George.
That's the thing. And Russ has his warts. Everyone knows this. He knows this.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lakers tried to turn him in.
LA.
Yeah. The Lakers tried to turn him into a 3-and-D guy, and then they vilified him for not being that guy. You knew he wasn't that guy. Everyone knows he's not that guy. He goes across town to the Clippers, and they let him be him because they didn't have a point.
That's where the king, doesn't fade the heat. Like he doesn't get clobbered at the rim like MJ did by the Pistons or any other team.
That's right.
But he also doesn't get critiqued when he's pulling the strings on moves that are made and stuff. So, anyways, but I don't know. It's interesting because I saw today where Dallas is in a must-win tonight,
and they're sitting Kyrie. Well, is Luka going to shoot the ball 65 times tonight?
Man,
he's going to have a usage rate of 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they figured strategy. Maybe there's some analytics behind it, but
they are going to put that guy. Oh my gosh, it's too much. I know he's young, but it's just too much to have him.
Owners and GMs and owners in the NBA. Everybody gripes about Jerry Jones and how much he's got a hand in everything. If you don't think these owners, don't have a strong input, I doubt there's a whole lot of GMs in the NBA who really just get, okay, here's the keys to the car, go, just bring it back.
And if they are truly trying to get a top 10 pick, why are they playing Luka tonight?
Yeah.
Why are you risking the franchise? Because Kyrie, they'd be insane to offer Kyrie a big contract after this season. I know he's been a good citizen since he's been there, but you got to look at track record.
What's your definition of good citizen? I'm not talking about anything off the court, but
no, he's never been a problem off the floor. It's just getting him on the floor.
Yeah, and I mean,
I guess a good teammate, a good teammate.
Cancer, yeah.
He's forced his way out of 3 franchises. Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn. All 3 were set to win now, and he forced his way out.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to do that in Dallas when Luka's still running the show?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I watched a bit of the Phoenix and Denver game last night, and KD was doing KD stuff, and then you look around, and I got in on it late, and I'd heard that I think I'd heard that Jamal Murray and Jokic were not playing. I didn't realize the whole rest of the starting 5 wasn't playing.
Yeah,
the Suns they squeak out a win against the reserves for Denver, which I think that's pretty typical in the NBA.
I mean, the guys that are playing aren't typically guys that you can game plan for, but heck, they've already clinched. They got a 2-game lead with 2 to go, and they've got the tiebreaker on Memphis. There's no playing for seeding. They're not going to play these guys the rest of the year, which is probably a mistake.
Yeah, well,
but KD's going to do his thing, but he's just not. He's not durable. He's getting the lower leg injuries over and over. It's not great.
Those guys with the little spindly legs, they have trouble.
Yeah,
for some reason, carrying the least amount of weight possible on 6-foot legs, and
you would think he wouldn't have a problem with that being he is as thin as a sheet of paper.
Well, speaking of problems with that and thin as a sheet of paper, I saw a picture where I don't know if it was a photo, something.
Chet Swolgren.
Is that what it is? Chet Swolgren, huh? So, he's hitting Gainesville. Apparently,
yeah, they've had him in the hometown buffet handcuffed to it for the last 6 months.
You're going to Cattleman's 3 times a week.
All you get,
presidential cut,
steak and baked potatoes 7 times a day.
You're gonna eat pot. It's like that. What was that John Candy movie? Where he finishes the steak, but he doesn't eat the
Great Outdoors.
That was Great Outdoors. all of it, boy. My buddy Bill Lord always sends something about that to me. So anyways, but yeah, so the Thunder could hold on to that 10th spot, I guess. And then honestly, in a 1-game playoff, who knows?
That team is ahead of schedule. Personally, my opinion. I mean, they dropped a lot of close games, but you got to think about it early in the season when they dropped those games, they were playing. Jalen, which one is it? J-Dub or J-Will? That's probably going to be the runner-up for Rookie of the Year.
Who's the Arkansas kid? That's
Jalen
Williams is the Arkansas with the side.
They're both Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
There's a 6 and 9 or 6
the West Coast Jalen and then the Arkansas Jalen. That's all. I mean, I know
Arkansas,
by difference, but
Arkansas Jalen is leading the league in charges taken, and Santa Clara Jalen is just been really good.
Kind of up for a.
Yeah, he's well. I mean, Banchero is going to win the Rookie of the Year. Okay. I mean, even though he's on the Magic, and last I checked, the Magic were eliminated from the playoffs
in December.
But he's not. Banchero is not playing beside a guy that's going to be all NBA in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's got more 30-point games than anybody in the league this year.
That brings up a good point to me is what do you think as far as regret and buyer's regret that the Clippers administration has on what they see from SGA? Because they would be a lot more formidable team for a lot longer had they kind of stuck it out with him.
Well, that's the LA. That's the danger. LA. That's the danger.
Okay, Pedro. I love LA.
Hey, listen, when you get a minute, and I know I'm veering off, you need to watch Letterkenny on Hulu.
Oh, my former.
You like Trailer Park Boys?
Dude, I love Trailer Park Boys. My former podcast, that little side project I had, with the Bang Bangs and Pew Pews, he was a big Letterkenny fan, and I couldn't grasp.
Talking about Mr. Eastridge?
Yeah, that guy. So yes. I just couldn't. It just didn't grab me, bro. So
you just kind of gotta power through the first couple episodes, and it gets better.
Well, I guess that's what I've always claimed about Trailer Park Boys. So
yeah.
So did you have a Letterkenny reference in that?
That was L.A.
Oh, L.A. Yeah,
I was thinking about L.A.
I was thinking
the Californians.
Skit. Yeah. Californians. I was thinking the SNL skit.
Back on the Clippers.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the danger of and the price you pay when you do business with Kawhi Leonard, when you get a superstar that is north of 30 that is wanting to win now. He don't want to give you time to develop a kid. And when Shai got here, he was a good player, but he wasn't, 32 points a game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was in the teens coming off the bench because he was playing behind Chris Paul and my cousin Dennis
Schroeder.
So, they had a good roster, but it just never materialized for him because, well, it's Paul George and he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard and he gets hurt and he won't play banged up.
Yeah. Well,
so that's where you're at.
They're in line. You said it in one statement right there, and, one player in LA has been dubbed the name Street Clothes. And another one's
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, that guy. Who, I mean, you and I both can freely admit, if he's good, he's a changer.
I think the street clothes moniker though is more fitting to Zion Williamson at this point.
I was going to say he's fighting for the title for sure.
But Reggie Miller said it best on the national TNT broadcast when Anthony Davis somehow twisted his ankle in midair. That he's wincing, and that's usually 3 weeks.
Dude, there was a game, I forget who it was, but it was back sometime before or after Christmas. I'm watching it. AD's in there. LeBron's in street clothes. He's load managing. And Davis goes up, comes down, and kind of rakes his arm across the side of the head of who's underneath him and falls to the floor. They took a TV timeout. And they cut to LeBron, and he's looking up. He's doing the cut in the corner of his eye, and kind of giving there it is. Went out for a bit, came back in, but I was like, man, you
went out long enough to go get X-rays.
A delicate flower, my God.
He is, and I get why LeBron's load managing because he's 38 now. Is he 38?
Oh yeah, he's 37.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that, but Anthony
Duncan
Davis
did it, so it's hard for me to criticize anybody too much.
That's why the bubble championship just doesn't count.
And it doesn't count. I'll give the pencil neck geek on FS1 credit. He throws it out constantly that bubble title was a special situation.
if it was an 82 game season without breaks, Anthony Davis isn't playing.
No,
he's not playing. He's not making it to the playoffs, or he's limited.
So that just spells it out there, Jeremy. LeBron and the Chinese sprung COVID on us.
They did.
You
did
put it out there. So
and the Ukrainians.
Hey, we've only got since I'm a cheapskate and haven't upgraded to the Pro Zoom. We've only got about 4.5 minutes left. So, but real quick, we kind of threw out Greggy Ginger Boy McElroy's. Oh crap! I'll probably get hate canceled.
It's okay.
Crowd.
It's okay.
Greg McElroy and I'm stealing this from Tyler McComas and Teddy Lehman. I heard it yesterday on this.
I did too.
Yeah. So you and I were listening at both times, but I'll tell you, it's funny. And I meant to text this into Tyler, and it's true. You know, the thing about it is when you make the claim that a team has the best talent in the conference, we've seen this since COVID, that it's all about, you know, he makes that statement based, and I think Tyler said this, he made that statement based on the last 5 composite recruiting classes.
What I was going to say is, like, they've been saying that about Texas, not McElroy, because he was a child, since 1996.
Oh, buddy,
best roster in the conference. Yeah. Well, I'm just talking because we,
the Big 12.
We haven't been paying attention to them since 96.
Well,
every year, and they consistently underachieved.
But here in a second, I'll get on OU about something as well. But like, back when we lived there where you live, and we had Cox Cable, I had LHN, and they were replaying a game from 1990, David McWilliams and the Texas Longhorns taking on David Klingler and the Houston Cougars. And Gary Danielson was on the color commentary, and he said the phrase, Jeremy, "It's obvious Texas is back." That was 1990, 33 years ago.
Yep. We've been doing this for decades.
But I'll say this, it's just like, a guy who's all jacked up, size wise, goes up to bat. Eventually he's going to pop one, just out of sheer, regular strength. But
I like to call that 2005.
Yeah. I mean, hey, and here's the thing. Mac Brown is far from the only coach in America that's proven that natties come easy when you got a game changer at quarterback.
Well, Mac Brown was also, fantastic recruiter, and
Well, yeah, but look at Chiswick.
Totally underrated.
Look at Chiswick's title and look at Jimbo's title. And neither one of those guys particularly have panned out superb, great in the NFL. That's a whole different story. And anyways,
Cam was an MVP.
He was definitely, and we'll get into this in future, but we always talk about, you got one game to win in a college football final. Who's your quarterback? And it's hard not to say Vince Young. If it's college, it's hard not to say Cam Newton. And as much as I hate it, it might be hard not to say Tim Tebow, but I'd probably go with VY over all them. Hey, real quick, we've got about a minute and a half left, but so looking ahead to the NFL draft, I tell you, Kyler Murray has just wrecked the reputation of small guys in the NFL.
Yeah, I can't fathom how athletic this guy is, and he's just apparently not a film watcher.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Well, and we'll see what happens, because there's a lot of comparisons between him and Bryce Young. And then I tell you something, if I'm Carolina, I go Bryce Young simply on the fact that I think Ohio State quarterbacks have proven that they can just really blast Big Ten defenses.
And I think quarterbacks take on the personality of their head coach, especially in college. Lincoln Riley, Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Spencer Rattler, would he not have fared a little better in this draft? I know he came back. He's going back to South Carolina, but he's got to have better arm talent than most of these guys.
He had 2 good games last year.
Okay. Hey, we're up on the clock, buddy. It was so good to catch up with you, man. Let's do it again soon.
Please. It's fantastic.
Sounds like a plan, brother. We'll talk to you later. Have a great Easter weekend, Bubba.
Oh, you too.
Jeremy Schroeder, Lawdog Sports. I'm Chuck Ramsey. We'll talk to you later.